Traffic, a short story for today, one to instill insecurity and fear into the psyche of sadistic, inhuman men. Traffic. In his armchair slumped, his eyes near closing, his day's business done, his trade goods sold. On the edge of sleep he teetered, resisting, dozing, as he recalled each ledgered entry with its profit told. His supper now finished, his plate scraped clean, on M&S's finest he had dined. He'd feasted greatly on their cuisine, and on their vintage bottles he had wined. His well-loved ledger balanced on the chair arm, a solitary reading lamp its gains revealing. The firelight mesmerised like a hypnotist's charm as it flickered and danced on walls and ceiling. Curtains pulse in the shifting light, fluttering shapes become alive on the walls. Who knows what's being waked in the dark dreams of night, anticipating what may ere befall. A sudden cough escapes his throat. In sleep he shifted in his chair. Somewhere in the ether, something took note and loosed the fetters of a slumber's nightmare. He loved his ledger with its columns neat, his profits there scripted yet, not for him the soulless spreadsheet, the vacant keyboard with dumb alphabet. Each transaction recorded with name and date, how much paid and for how much sold. He cared not a jot for the women's fate. To their future horrors he was cold. But there was one today, a girl of 15 years, not like the others, weeping, keening, her face impassive, dry of tears, her eyes unblinking, balefully gleaming. No matter, he thought, she'd be brought to heel. Haughty looks like that are regarded well. I'll mark her value up when it's time to deal, unless I hold her back for me from her future's hell. And that's what happened. The rest were drugged and sold to gain their enforced habit on the streets. But that girl held a virtue worth more than gold, too valued to earn on any brothel sheets. And therefore it so came to pass, as he slouched and slumbered in his chair, she was locked deep inside the cellar fast, sitting cross-legged in the dark with a meditative stare. He shifted again, his full belly groaned, spittle dribbled from chin to chest. In his darkening dreams a spectre moaned, becoming manifest at a girl's behest. In his troubled mind this shadow arose. In its darkened shape he saw his future clear. Sweat sprang from his forehead, itched down his nose. In his nightmare he turned to escape this fear. Hot chasing breath he felt on his neck, though his body raced forward not at all. His legs, mired in mud, held him in check. His gear in neutral, his engine stalled. All change. He's stumbling through this rail tunnel black, lost and clueless as to where he's going. In the tunnel mouth he turns, looks down the track, hears a steam engine's chase, whistle blowing, feels retribution through the rails, sees hell's fiery reflection off the tunnel walls. He knows for him the banshee wails, for him the vengeful angel calls. In boots of lead he's grounded, planted fast, as the clamorous cacophony thunders towards apace. The devil's furnace rages, the die is cast. Arms spread, he makes sacrifice to that round black face. All change. He wakes in his terror with shouts and screams, drenched in sweat, every muscle twitches, eyes bulging, weeping, tears running in streams, as he recalls the shadow his sanity bewitches. But is he awake? He doesn't know. The room is cold, the fire long dead. In his disorientation, fear starts to grow, enveloping him in all-consuming dread. His throat locks up, no cry is made. His body wriggles, frozen in the chair. He feels her presence. He feels afraid. His starting eyes speak fear and despair. Petrified, he stares at the bolted door. The wood is good, the bolts are strong. Is that the way? No, but he can't be sure, though he will find out ere very long. Like steam boiling from a kettle's spout, vengeance percolates the bolted door. Wraith-like it swirls his body about. His sanity wavers, his grip unsure. Within the mist, two laser eyes of shafting blue lock onto his, sear his brain with screaming pain. His head's a melting pot, his brain's a stew, its bubbling grey matter retained in vain. Feels it spew forth from nose, eyes and ears, feels it burning skin, smells it singeing hair. His cracking skull at bursting point nears, as he slowly roasts in his rotisserie chair. Feels his body pierced as by a fencer's foil. In agony's grip he's howling, crying, twin shafts of blue his juices boil. Feels his bowels melt, smells his liver frying. Minutes pass, though each seems an hour. His steaming, jerking body finds no relent. Each muscle and organ pains to his torturer's power. Twin shafts of blue rain, omnipotent. Gibbering, twitching, he crumples in the chair. The mist coalesces, becomes a being. A girl of 15 years, white dress, blonde hair, her piercing blue eyes, all-knowing, all-seeing. She looks down, dispassionate, at her latest task. There will be no clue as to how he died, nothing but that frozen facial mask fixed on the corpse of a man dying terrified. She turns from those bulging eyes, that silent scream, walks towards, then through the still bolted door. Other traffic awaits, other evil men dream. There always will be for her one more.